Hello everybody, welcome back to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. We're on to the next quest. And we're going to do the Nakano Underground. Reason why? Farm Development Kit. Client Government. Place Nakano Underpass. This is a case from the government. The door in the Nakano Underpass has been unlocked. What waits on the other side? I'll explain all the details. The client this time is the local government that takes care of the utilities for Nakano. Basically, it's a bureaucratic agency. Why are you so shocked? Of course we specialize in the supernatural and complex cybercrimes, so we usually have very specific clientele. But we cooperated very well with Detective Matayoshi's police force, so they consider us to be a pretty good detective agency. So, we've received a case from the public agency, quite a rare event. This case was originally discussed by Detective Matayoshi with the government agency. It's a bit special, so Detective Matayoshi passed us down to the government agency like a sort of ace up his sleeve, and now it's our case. Got it? Yeah, pretty much. Good. The case is to unlock a gate in Nakano Underpass. It seems the gate's locked due to some electronic glitch and cannot be opened. Huh? What? You don't know about Nakano Underpass? It's a facility that houses the equipment used to provide Nakano public utilities, such as power cables, water pipes, and so on. They are moving forward with a plan to improve the look of the city center above ground by housing the public utilities underground. Looks like the visible power cables and telephone poles are set to disappear in the not too distant future. Underneath Nakano there is a vast complex of tunnels, so there are of course many entrances. One of these entrances is the place where the gate we need to unlock is. It is password protected, electronic lock. But it seems some time ago it locked for no reason, and no one has been able to open it since. They contacted the manufacturer, but they gave up. If needs be, they will destroy the gate, but obviously that would incur serious costs. While the costs were discussed, a weird groaning sound was heard from the other side of the gate. It seems something strange is going on. The manufacturer had a bad feeling about it, and didn't want to open the gate, but the government suspected criminal activity and called Matayoshi. I see. Then the buck passed to Karumi Detective Agency. Well, after all, we have the best people for the job if you want to access a place that is off bounds to most. This is actually a good opportunity. I've been wanting to investigate the rumors surrounding Nakano's underground system for a while. The gate in question has an electronic lock, so naturally there's a cyberspace inside. You're the only one who can break into the gate without destroying it. We've already received permission from the government to access the underpass. Alright then, shall we go and find out what the real situation with this underground gate is? Where is that groaning voice coming from? What kind of strange world lies beyond the gate? This is going to be so much fun. Huh? It's an underground gateway. So there will just be an underground tunnel behind it, right? Have you ever heard of the Stoic process in quantum mechanics? I guess I guess I should tell you about Schrodinger's cat. No! Do not tell me about Schrodinger's cat! I've heard so much about Schrodinger's cat from many other sources. Until we open up the gate, we cannot know if we will find an underground tunnel or the void of space. Until you open that gate, and the world is in a flux of overlapping possibilities. So just try to enjoy it. Let's go. The case is a simple matter of unlocking the gate, but what's behind the gate? Your job is to find that out. Okay, to warn everyone now. 1 second. Farm one. Okay, I gotta stop there and do that. Like I said, the recording went bad, and I have to re-record this. She talks a lot in this episode. Like, she talks for a good while. Like, it's very impressive how much she actually talks this episode. I am thoroughly shocked by it. Trust me. Okay, we're here. Did you arrive at the underpass? The gate we need to unlock is inside. The control panel should be beside you. Do you see it? Connect jump into it and lock the gate. Okay. What happened? What? Connect jump isn't working? That's strange. It's an electronic lock, so there should be some kind of network inside it. Perhaps it's just that you didn't activate the control jump properly. Right, I think it's time I verified your ability to perform a connect jump. I've been doing this for a while, Kyoko. I don't think you need to... Raise your hand. Now concentrate. Now what? That's it. 30 minutes later. 1 hour later. Several hours later. 100 years later. What were you doing just now? Nothing. Whatever you're doing, it seems like it's not working. Whoa! There we go! I'm in! Oh no, it looks like I can't verify it. Well, it seems that you can only connect jump if you feel disappointed. If I were to post that theory as to how your connect jump works, it really locates a digital wave, piggybacks onto it to the target location's digital space, and then enters it. It can be a network, a PC server. It doesn't matter what the target location is. If it has a digital space, then you should be able to access it. However, there seems to be a certain limitations when interfering with the digital waves. In other words, when you can, you can, and when you can't, you can't. What we've determined is that you connected before by chance, even if there are specific reasons why you were able to each time. But simply, cause and effect are connected to the digital waves. Wait a second, how could you connect jump this time then? I don't have any proof to support my answer, but perhaps there were others like you who tried and failed to open the lock and were disappointed. Yes, disappointment is definitely the key. I have rambled on long enough. Please get this kit lock opened as quickly as you can. Another Digimon invited me to try this Digiline thing. Do you people really enjoy it? Give it a try and you'll see. Ironically, this place is full of Tokamon! Who am I just beating up really meanly? I feel a little bit bad because I'm just kind of smacking them. Like, these are just Tokamon! For gosh sakes, man! Think of the Tokamon! The Tokamon! Well, this is something. Oh look, Tentomon! Dead Tentomon! Copy. Copy the target data temporarily saves it to... Okay. Must be too far away. Copy. He keeps killing them. Paste. Boingo! The door should be unlocked now. Let's go head back and check. Well, if you say so. Or Tentamon! Good job, Lancelot. Okay! Like, it sounds like I'm bored. I just know how much I'm going to be reading in a few minutes. Ugh. I'm also a tad tired. But other than that, I'm pretty good. But you guys aren't here to hear me whine. You're here to hear me go to the next part of the quest and continue on this journey and find out what's behind this door. Like, you guys, like they don't want me to leave! We're out of here. Just get out. Okay. And... oh no! Where did this come from? Well, we know what's behind the door now. It seems you have managed to unlock the gate, so thanks for that. It must have been easy for you, given your skill. Well, guess what I found? What? There's a bit of a labyrinth in the underground tunnel. What do you mean by a bit? Is there any sign of Digimon or an eater in there? No. I see, it is strange to see just a small section of labyrinth. I know I said we couldn't know what we would find, but I wasn't expecting that. I believe we have witnessed a special digital wave occurrence. It's as if it's some kind of current. I see, this is definitely a ley line. Have you ever heard of ley lines before? There are many in Tokyo. They are also called dragon chains. Dragons signify the unduling landscape, the hills and the mountains. The dragon's chain is what we call the flow of the land spirit. It's well known that Sosui Tenkai, advisor to Ieyasu Tokugawa, turned Edo into a great Feng Shui city. It is said that he built a waterway and path to lead the chi from Mount Fuji in Tokyo Bay to Edo Castle. Of particular note, in this instance, are Kanji and Asakura Shrine to the northeast, and the Soji and He Shrine to the southwest, all being religious institutions. In Feng Shui, those directions are thought to draw negative energy their way. The shrines hold big festivals to purge and expel that energy. And if you look at the lines that connect the Buddhist temples Kanji and Sojoji and Shinto shrines Asakusa and He, you'll find they cross right inside Old Edo Castle, home to today's Tokyo Imperial Palace. It's really quite fascinating to see. Nowadays, the waterways have been swapped out for rail lines, and radio towers dot the northeast and southwest. You could say we've finished what Tenkai started. Viewed from the eyes of a current society, those rail lines and radio towers are artificial ley lines that supplement the old roads and waterways. Naturally, where you're standing underground constitutes another ley line running through Tokyo too. Nah, not just any ley line either. That's one that is believed to emanate from Mount Fuji. Is supposed to run right through there. The man-made tunnel ley line layered on top of it allows the digital waves to keep flowing in perpetuity. It's really a peculiar thing going on down there. That's what's producing this quasi-labyrinth you're seeing before you. Knowing that, those weird voices that people are supposedly hearing probably belong to Digimon that are appearing as a result. My mouth's dry. I could go on for a while yet about the subject, but you at least somewhat get what I'm saying, right? Definitely. I'll take that to mean you understand it well enough, then. At this point, your work is essentially done, but we can't exactly just ignore this newfound discovery of yours, either. Why don't you go a little further in and check things out for me? Well, you guys are here. Just kind of like, are you guys like always following me, or do you like just randomly like appear when I just walk into a digital area? It's dead. Dead end. Wonder, did I get anything from that last quest that could, like, expand my, nope. Yeah, it'd be really nice if I could. The tunnel just keeps going on, you say? If it stays on course like that, you're going to end up in Roppongi, which would mean, You know, this reminds me of something else I've heard about before. As I mentioned before, Tokyo's ley lines stem from Mount Fuji, which is, of course, not all that a coincidence, given that it's a sacred place. And that energy takes old highways like Kashu and Kaido, and the Tokaido, to get to Tokyo from Mount Fuji. That energy joins up with underground waterways going along the highways that carry Mount Fuji's snowmelt into Tokyo, flowing into the city together. One theory holds that the first place where that water appears above ground after reaching Tokyo happens to be where else but Nakano. Put simply, all the ley lines that flow throughout Tokyo could well be coming out of our own stomping grounds, believe it or not. Wouldn't that be amazing to think about if it turned out to be true? Kyoko, you're just enjoying this way too much. Stop right there! Don't go in any further. You're standing at the border of the municipality. Go any further and you'll be in a central government territory. It's a hive we'd best not poke. Color me intrigued, though. That's a heck of a thing to stumble into just walking around inside that tunnel. We aren't prepared just yet to pick that sort of fight. There's still too much we don't know. This little tangent of ours has gone on long enough, I think. Head back the way you came and regroup at the office. Okay. Though it's not as strong as we're used to, that tunnel is causing a digital shift. We should probably keep it locked up like we did before, after all. I have no idea how I'm going to explain all this to our client. No matter how you spin it, it'll probably all be a lot to take in. I wouldn't be surprised if we come away looking even sketchier than we already do. Let's just let Detective Matayoshi deal with it. Some jobs are just best left to others. You're curious of what exactly was actually beyond where you stopped. That makes two of us, believe me. Actually, while you were on your way back, I decided to look into it a little bit. Apparently, what you found was Kamishiro Research Lab. Of all things. Really? Oh, don't bleed dense. I told you that areas under the jurisdiction of the central government. That's not the sort of place you wander into for fun. If nothing else, it indicates that Kamishiro and the government have a tighter relationship than what we previously suspected. Going after Kamishiro could well mean that we'd also be ruffling the government's feathers. That's why we can't be hasty right now. We'll do what we can to prepare and cross that bridge when we come to it. This is just a guess on my end, but I imagine it was Kamishiro that changed the password on the door and rendered it impossible to get open. They probably weren't counting on us being able to actually break in and snoop around. Knowing that, it could well serve as our ace in the hole later when the time does come to confront them, hopefully unawares. But again, let's not worry about hashing out the details until we have to, and just be grateful we have that up our sleeves if need be. On that note, I realize this case is technically closed, but what do you say about heading over to Roppongi for me one more time? I don't mean an unofficial business, rather, I'm keeping keen on doing a little independent intelligence gathering for our own internal use. Surely you're interested in knowing why Kamishiro has built a research lab underneath the Tokyo Metropolitan Government building, too, right? Well, how about you just walk on through the front door there and see what you can find. Sound good? To the Metropolitan Building place thing, Roppongi! On the way! We're heading there right now. 1 second. Just in case there's actually a fight, I think I'm going to bring out my strongest Digimon for a little bit of variety. Yeah! Hey, you never know what you're gonna need when you have a fight. Over here.
Oh, are you here for a tour of the lobby? Please, come inside. You must be confused. Let me explain. Construction on this new metropolitan building isn't exactly complete as of yet. Well, it was at one point. That is, until a major firm came in and it was decided to upper floors merited additional construction. As such, while that's going on, the lobby here remains free and open to the public to visit.
Did you make it inside the building? Alright, I get you. So they're alright with you hanging around the lobby. Well, that makes our work a little easier. Then go on in. All you need at this point is a terminal somewhere so you can interface with it, infiltrate their systems. Piece of cake at this stage, I'd say. So once you find a terminal, just slip on in and work your magic like always. Wish I was there to see it myself. Seems like quite the sight. It reminds me of the Tower of Babel in a way.
Okay, do not talk about the Tower of Babel. We're gonna have fricking Pat labor in here now? Jeez. Just gonna have land on the sea to buy your timeshare now. If you know what I'm talking about, good on you. You know your anime and your bridge series. Yeah.
Guess I'm starting to ramble again. But don't worry about me. Feel free to get back to your work now.
You are still creepy. Hey guys. Can't talk to the guards, apparently. Not complete yet, but in the meantime, all are invited to take advantage of the forums.
I see where I'm supposed to go. Anything else I can touch? There's a small digital shift happening here.
Kyoko!
Ah, there you are. Is something wrong out there? Oh, you found a terminal that is digital shifting a little. If this shift is weak, while still prominent enough for you to notice it, it could be a sign this place will turn into a labyrinth later on. Well, for now, try jumping into it. We have no idea what could be inside here. There, so stay on your feet, alright?
And I go!
Sir? Mommy, someone just went into the computer! Diane, there's no way someone could have just gone into the computer like that. But he just got swooped right in! I watched him, Mommy! No, Diane, we talked about this. Computers don't eat people. But... Diane! Okay.
Imagine going through that conversation. Okay. I see how I get that box. I gotta get that box. Not wasting any more of my, my energy fighting these things. Because I might need it for a boss fight, since usually when Labyrinth and things are involved, it's an eater that's involved. A lot of starters here. I call them starters, but well, technically that's what they are. One second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. My phone rang. I had to get it. Doctor appointments and stuff like that. It's a bug recovery. That's the dot thing, right? You know, like when that happened to Pikachu a few episodes back. You do a lot of damage to that thing. Oh, it's a vaccine type. You're a data type, Stan. I forgot about that. What kind of music do you listen to? There you go. Like, I don't really care about those anymore. Like, they're just not really interesting. Aha! So many starters! Okay, got rid of all those guys. Yep, there he is! There's the set eater. I'm not stupid, so I'm going to, go to the Pokemon Center. Alright. Hello, Mr. Ada! Okay, now Fluff is paralyzed. I got fire for you, Eater. A little bit of water. When's that gonna go away? Oh, here comes the attack buff. Oh, look at that! The Fluff can move! Wait, you had anti-paralysis. I did not notice that before. 10% lower speed chance. Well, let's do the same thing he did to me. Ha! Doesn't matter.
D-Rex got the kill. So you found an eater inside that there after all. But you couldn't find any other evidence of note. You're not seeing the forest for the trees here, Tripmon. The fact that there was an eater inside the terminal is all is big evidence in and of itself. Regardless, let's call it a day here. Get on back to the office now. Instant office teleportation! That was probably hard work going all over the place today, but thanks to you, I think I'm starting to piece it all together now. While you were out and about, I decided to measure the digital waves coming out of that building. And I found out that the Metropolitan Government Building itself is one big digital wave force field. From what I can tell, energy is flowing straight into the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building via the ley lines inside Nakano Underpass. So that underground lab Kamishiro has beneath the building is probably controlling the energy flow. You remember what I said about ley lines when you were inside that tunnel, don't you? There are two things, just two, at play here. The natural energy flow from the Earth along the ley lines, and digital waves emitting from a sea of electrons. If you can make a massive structure like the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building a hub for those things, then you can manipulate their flow. Why do they need to do it that way? Well, for one, digital waves might be invisible to the naked eye, but they have mass, and therefore require a vessel. And the bigger the vessel is that contains those waves, the more energy you can build up. It probably also explains the new construction going on, as more space would mean that much more energy Kamishiro could stockpile. That extra energy would then go on to impact the building beyond the facility, hence digital shift you ran into in the lobby. And with any good digital shift comes an eater, of course. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if that place goes labyrinthine eventually. But we don't have to be concerned about that threat anymore now that you've cleaned the joint up. On the other hand, it's worrying in its own way that things resolve so cleanly this time. The fact that digital waves can be concentrated in such small quantities as to attract individual eaters and produce a micro-labyrinth is scary. If you hadn't been there, it might well not have been caught until much later. The whole thing doesn't sit well with me at all. This case has taught us that there's technology that can mostly surpass large amounts of data. Suppress waves. That's what I meant, suppress, I surpass. Waves as they're built up and placed wherever. The deliberate and calculated nature of it all indicates that somebody's got big plans in the works, suffice it to say. This, of course, calls for more investigating. We need to figure out how long this has all been going on, and just what exactly it's for. Let's keep our eyes peeled as we move forward, Tripmon. We're on something here, I know. Know it. Your drive is really admirable. Keep it up. One way or another, we'll definitely deal with Kamishiro when the time is right. Okay, now that we've done that, time to head over to... at an island. Never gotta do this. Yeah, it's huge! one? Beat this one, beat this one. Ah, it's Wizardmon! Fire Marlin 2. Just doing some cleanup. You. Oh, I got 2, huh? Also, gotta do this. Okay, that should pretty much beat the episode, really. Wait, let me check someone first. That's who I'm aiming for this guy. $80, $80, $130. Anyway, guys, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and join the series. I'll catch you in the next episode. See you later. Doodles!